guys. Yeah. Alright, right. So we got Raxx over here. And Raxx, he resets like every other day. He's like a bad router. You know, your internet goes out, you gotta go check it. Oh, okay, I know what's going on. You gotta pull the plug on it, wait 30 seconds. It's not gonna do anything at those times, and plug it back in. That's exactly how Raxx operates in real life. Sally's gotta walk up every now and then, refill the sludge. That's basically unplugging the thing, and he drinks it and he gets back into action.
And let me tell you, it's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that do motivate me. The want to have a better life. The need to do better for myself. And to get my career back on track. And I know some of you guys think, well, what career you just started up the channel? Well, let me explain this to you. I'm not new to this, actually. I've had several channels, including one channel that had 100,000 subs, which I actually still have the silver play button for. It's packed away so it doesn't get busted right now because I still don't have my room set up. But I had 100,000 subs. Was doing very well for myself. And then some years later, this community that I deal with, known as the troll community, decided it would be funny to go hunting for me after years of torture. Like, they went hunting for my channel.
You ever seen those videos, those channels with videos on them? It's like Mr. Nightmare, like Lazy Masquerade, things like that. It's like top 5 scariest videos that people found just laying around. Video number 1. This man was just walking across the bench in Akron, Ohio and found a videotape. And on that tape was something horrifying. What he couldn't figure out, was this a man? Was this a goblin? Or was this tale bigger than he could even imagine? And as it turns out, it was. As he went through this tape, deep dove it, looked at every single frame, he discovered that this was a goblin, a rare species in this world, and you can see it right here, clear as day. The fact that we got 4K now is the fact we can now see these mythical creatures, and it's a strange case. This mythical creature is claiming that he has been trolled for 7 years, so this must mean there are trolls as well as goblins in this universe. What does this troll want? What does this goblin want? Apparently, it's freedom.
They found it and shut it down by falsely reporting it, which does suck, but it is what it is. The thing that I did before this was actually very different. You see, I wasn't your normal vlogger, I should say. I did everything from circuit events, road racing, drag racing, drift events, which were some of my favorite. I absolutely love drift events.
You're not doing any drift events. You're an RPG character.
All the way down to professional, high grade, Group B style rally stage racing for the longest time. And then the trolls came in and destroyed my career by destroying my equipment. I currently have no PC. I have no gaming console. I have nothing.
Okay, so who else remembers being in like 7th through kindergarten, right? I remember playing NBA 2K, right? I can't remember which one it was. It might have been 2K8, something like that. And I lost. And I smashed the controller down. And I picked it up. And the controller, like, you know, the right joystick, it just spun around. I couldn't use it anymore. And at that point, I realized, don't mess up your toys, right? Don't mess up your game systems. Don't freak out, slam things. Well, in Cyraxx, he does it even worse than anyone else. He's literally plugging things into his systems that explode them and doing it over and over and over again. It's literally mind-blowing.
Practicing again. But my point is this. In life, you're gonna have curveballs thrown at you. I want to tell you, I had a curveball that was so hard thrown at me that I didn't know if I was ever gonna be able to get back up. Because you see, I come from a long line of being tortured, being used, taken advantage.
Didn't you come from the long line of Will Putnam, right? Am I not wrong, guys? It's been a long time since I've heard this name. So apparently, please inform me if I'm wrong, because I'm going to go on like a small little tangent about this. So I hope to be corrected, at least for the second channel, at the very least. So it's like Will Putnam, right? The Cyraxx claims that this used to be one of his ancestors, and this guy was the main person who created the Town of Salem game. I think that's the best way for me to say it on YouTube. Cyraxx claims that the guy who basically got that started is his ancestor. So now Cyraxx might be facing the punishments of what his ancestors did right now. Maybe that's why Rupal was the way he was, and Rupal's father before him, and Raxx himself. Exactly. So like the only thing about Raxx is it's like we get a break. You guys know how in like Jeepers Creepers you get like a break every decade or so for him to come around to basically annihilate every teenager on the bus in sight? Well, maybe Cyraxx is just cursed to want so bad but never get what he truly needs.
Until one day this person, whose name I won't say, who I am beyond grateful for, came into my life. And at first they tried to tell me the truth. I was scared and I ended up blocking them. Not because I didn't believe them, but because personally I was scared. And it wasn't until a few days later, or a few weeks later, that when my best friend died, that's when I really learned the truth.
Guys, is that beanie inside out? Please tell me that beanie isn't inside out. If you're going to be on camera, there's a few things that you should probably take care of. At the very least, make sure your clothing isn't turned inside out. You know what that makes me think? I think Cyraxx might have used that as a rag.
Truth about what was really going on, and I saw that this person was right the entire time about what was going on. Needless to say, I emailed them, I reached back out to them, and to this day we still talk on a daily basis. A very, very important, if not one of the most important people in my life. But this person really showed me that I can have a normal life if I choose to. Defined by what the internet says about them or their past mistakes. They think that their past mistakes define who they are as a person. And let me tell you, that's far from true.
Alright, let's think about some lolcows that could be like forgiven for their past mistakes. I think PWR, right, is one of them. PWR potentially forgiven for his past mistakes. Then there's people like that I've covered one time, like Wolf Legion, or was he was Orc Legion, that maybe you should forgive. Like, he's been doing fine now. So there's some people in the lolcow community that you should forgive. But then there's Cyraxx. He's the number one lolcow. Would you guys say it? Is Cyraxx the most popular lolcow at the moment? I would say if he's not number one, he's number two, and potentially Nova has it over him. And if like you was gonna have an overall, like who's a lolcow? Do you know this person? World of T-shirts might win that, right? But Cyraxx is certainly the craziest.
I've had people tell me that I would never, overcome my past. I would never be able to rise above. Hell, there were times where I was told that I would never be a pioneer of any kind of music, when actually I was and am.
What did he say?
Because I've actually been working on a very, very cool new genre of music that's not ever been done, that combines several different styles of music into one style.
Okay, I remember this crystal clear, because this was one of the most ridiculous things that I've ever heard Cyraxx say in my life. Like, I used to do like classic Cyraxx compilations, right? Where I would take like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 videos at the time. Well, at the time he was recording them, they'd be like in 2018, 2019. Put them together, commentate over them. And one time while I was listening to it, he said, I have now created a brand new music genre. And that was something I've never, like, it literally blew my mind that someone could think they would be creating a brand new music genre. I want you guys to think about this. There's billions of people in the world right now. Everyone can produce vocals. Every single buddy in the world. You don't very often hear people have like new genres. If there was a genre out in this world to be discovered, it would definitely be discovered at this point. And it's not by Raxx. Maybe the closest you could possibly get, right, is have like an instrument from AI that produces sounds that were never possible. And I guess that might be a new genre. But Raxx screaming into a microphone, I think, it's not rock opera, because that's a thing anyhow, but it's literally just him doing metal over rap beats. It's ridiculous.
Imagine Linkin Park on steroids. How they combine rock and rap, which, shout out Linkin Park, you guys. Just like Linkin Park, how they combine rock and rap. I don't just do one or two, I do multiple. And it's a style that I've been working on for a very long time now, and I'm pretty much almost perfected it. But my point is, you can't let people drag you down. That doesn't mean you need to be held back to them. You may have said and done things that, you said and did when you were not in the right state of mind, and that's very understandable. Because I've been there. I've said and done things that I'm not proud of out of fear, anger, out of feeling alone, out of feeling like no one cares, out of having no help whatsoever. My family was completely disregarded by law enforcement. We were even mocked and had jokes cracked on us at our expense. Of course, but statewide law enforcement. I've had content stolen from me for years. There's been channels that have stolen my content and made millions off of me. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not been easy. But my point is, if I can rise above and do better now than what I was doing before, if I can overcome my past, so can you.
You haven't overcame anything. Not a bit of your past has been overcame in the last 7 years. You've literally sank lower and lower. Maybe back in the day when it was just Marty screwing with you just a little bit, it could have just been that. And maybe when you got popular, people would have been like, oh, Marty, you're just terrorizing somebody for no reason. But you continually did things to prove that, hey, you probably, this was just going to happen in your life. No doubt about it. And it's not like this didn't end last week. You still been doing degenerate stuff today. These aren't, I think these are a day and a half old, guys. And the degeneracy hasn't stopped. Not at all. He can't overcome the bed bugs. Well, you see, the closet door is shut. It's game over for them. Like, they've overcame everything. We're talking about overcoming. The bed bugs have taken over. You know, I'm pretty sure they might have a Ratatouille-like situation going on, but I don't think they're quite there yet, BG.
You can't let others define who you are as a person, because if you let them define who you are as a person, then that person that they make you out to be is what you will become.
Dabo,
and let me tell you, that person would be miserable. You're going to be miserable, worn out, drained, tired. But I can tell you right now that if you stick on your path and you don't give in to what others say about you, and you don't give a flying fuck about what anyone says about you, and you stick to your guns, and because you watching, you are awesome, you are special, you are amazing. What these others that hide behind their screens and their keyboards and their little words, what they say about you, because their words don't mean shit. Their words and their actions are a reflection of themselves, not of you.
I want to see this like played in like a high school horror movie, right, guys? Like the high schoolers wake up and they're in the theater and they see this motivational speech by Cyraxx and they're like, whoa, what's going on here? There's a goblin giving us a motivational speech on the screen. Did we just get called into a different universe? I don't know what's going on right now. I mean, that's what I want. Like, we missed so much by Cyraxx being a lolcow instead of like a C horror movie villain. But we're on to it.
This video isn't gonna be very long. This video is for all my fans and supporters that have supported me over the years. And I know I've said it a lot of times, but this time it is no joke.
Oh, okay, yeah, Cyraxx is retiring. That's the title of the live stream. What's wrong with me? You know, maybe I should retire. Jeez.
This is for real. Over the last 10 years, I've had a lot of fun, a lot of good laughs. But 6 out of those 10 years were spent in misery and toxicity. And I don't need that in my life. You know, I sat down with friends and family over the last few days and really had a long, hard conversation with all of them, and I am retiring for good. So you guys will not be seeing.
You know, the night before, Cyraxx was telling Sally, Mom, listen, I've been thinking about it a long time, and I would like you to pick up a cake tomorrow in celebration of my 7-year career. You know, I've worked long, hard, really hard, blind Billy'd a few people, Adobe flashed a couple more, but I'm hanging it up, pulling the zipper up, Mom. It's just the way it's gotta be. So please give me a cake, and invite Blind Billy over. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Wait, can you invite Jake as well? You know, that's sounds like a party to me.
In my life, just know that my life is none of y'all's business. For those that want to try to intrude or impede on my peace is my business. It is not yours to impede on or intrude on. But I just want to say thank you guys for those that have been supportive, for those that have been truly, truly awesome. I fucking love y'all, man.
This is one of my favorite part about Raxx, when he's shouting out the people that has been supportive of him for a very long time. And we all know there's not a soul in that chat who is supportive of Cyraxx in the first place, right? But above all of that, anyone there who is saying, oh, good job, Cyraxx, like clapping, has been there for a solid week and a half, and they've just decided to start buddy trolling Cyraxx not long ago. There's no lifelong fan of this guy. Out of all the lolcows, right? There was always like people who generally supported them the entire time, and I guess still generally support them to this day, right? No matter who it is. But not Cyraxx. There's not one. And he's one of the most popular lolcows out there.
Toxic. And I'm getting away from the toxicity. I'm getting away from the place that made me sick.
What's up?
It made me so sick that I ended up in the hospital. On 3 separate occasions.
Bro, there's no way Cyraxx is continually going to the hospital. He's so unaware about finances and stuff like that. Like, one trip to the hospital, like if you go in there and you lay on the bed and you don't have insurance, which like I would imagine potentially Cyraxx doesn't anymore after Obamacare went out of stuff. Like, I don't think you can have it anymore, which would be the only way he possibly could, because I think you need to work a little bit, right? Be thousands and thousands of dollars. And he has been in the hospital, no joke, at least 20 times since I've been covering him. But that would be tens of thousands in hospital bills, bro. It like legitimately.
You know, I'm out of that life now, and I want nothing to do with it. So just know from here on out, you guys will not be seeing any more YouTube content from me, period. YouTube is toxic, and it's not a good place. And you know, I contemplated for so long not making a goodbye video. Like, I contemplated it all day and talked about it with a few friends of mine and people that I'm close to, and you know, I really thought long and hard about like not even doing it, because you know, but at the end of the day though, I felt like, you know, I at least owed the real supporters, the real ones that were down as fuck, the people that had my back when no one else did, the ones that were there for me when the chips were down, you know, the ones that actually...
He treats life like an anime, you know, like, yo, back when there was people who had my back. I enjoyed Attack on Titans, and after I watched Attack on Titans, I was like, wow, This anime might be better than I thought. I can't believe how many tropes that this television show subverted. And I was trying to watch another one, and all it was like the lame, yeah, you know, stereotypical stuff. It was like friendship and love, and like, listen, if we're talking about Dragon Ball Z, I'm willing to accept it. Dragon Ball Z is cool as shit. But, you know, most of them, I'm not going to do it. I just can't. I'm too old to be watching that crazy stuff. But that's how Cyraxx lives. He's got hopes and dreams and love all over the place. I wish this would happen. I hope this would happen. But he's forgetting the main component above it all. He's a predator that no one in this world likes.
I figured that I at least owed you guys a farewell. Because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have stayed afloat for as long as I did. I wouldn't have kept my head above water like I did for so long. But I can honestly say this, that a week ago, help arrived. And I'm not drowning in that ocean of depression. I'm not drowning in that ocean of toxicity. I'm in a much happier place.
Oh, he's reading an AI for sure. Drowning in an ocean of toxicity. He was either just playing Alan Wake 1, where it's like, I'm drowning in my own self-pity, or, you know, it's like, there's no way he came up with that on his own. Not Cyraxx.
I ever was. That I'm doing good. And that I'm finally living life free from...
You are not living life free from anybody. This has been some of the worst trolling you have experienced in years. In absolute years. No disrespect to Marty, shout out to the Drift King, but towards the end, he was still figuring out the next move. John has broke you. You cannot believe there's another man who has popped up along with William Gloryhole, who is related to the Drift King and is getting you again. This has been the worst time of your life. You can't sit there and pretend that you're cool with what's happened.
The hell that I was in. Just know that I am finally free from that prison. And that I am no longer living in that toxic prison that held me back for so many years. I'm alive, I'm kicking, but with that being said, man, I absolutely love y'all, man. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are truly awesome, and I'm gonna miss you, but this is my time. It's time for me to sink out and take a different path in life. It's time for me to drown out of the noise and dive headfirst into a new adventure in my life, into the next chapter of my life.
You guys ever seen Bruce Almighty? And when he asks God how he does it, what's his special trick? God is like, well, whenever they pray, I always say no. They've got to do it themselves. This is Raxx right now, bro. This is exactly Raxx. He's like, okay, I prayed to God, and God's like, no, do it yourself, Cyraxx. He has got such an easy path. I wouldn't say it's easy necessarily, but think about it. Tell me how many lolcows we used to have, right? And so many of them have just disappeared because they don't make videos anymore. That could be what he does.
And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what life brings. I'm excited to see, you know, what surprises are in store next for me. You know, I'm excited to see where my life is headed. Because I know that wherever I go, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good place. But, yeah, I just wanted to pop on here and let y'all know that as of today, on November 21st, 2025, that I, Chance Wilkins, am retiring from YouTube. And what's funny is I officially started my very first YouTube channel officially as an actual content creator exactly 10 years ago today. So I figured it was only fitting to finish out today exactly 10 years later.
10 years later, and you have earned absolutely nothing. Nothing. Could you imagine giving your 10-year announcement on YouTube and you have earned a solid, well, drum roll everybody, dun, 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 $170 for your grand total lifetime? Like, no. Like, if you was at like a reward show for, if you was playing some basketball as a kid, and they were like, do you want the participation trophy or do you want the MVP? You obviously want the MVP. Everybody gets a participation trophy. But Cyraxx, he doesn't even get that when it comes to life. He's lower than that.
It's been an absolute journey and an absolute ride. But now it's time for me to move on with life and live my life in peace and in happiness, and working on my health and working on getting better.
Why does this sound like a will, bro? like Cyraxx is all, here, I want you to have this ocarina. And above all else, I want you to have this brown stained stylus. Don't ask why it's brown. That's not important. What's important is the memories that I had with it. Along with this fidget spinner and pepperoni, said, hey, whatever you do, don't eat the pepperoni stick. I'm not saying it's been in weird places, but it's been in weird places. You know, and I want my mom, well, I want her to have my addict. It's really great that I was able to own this house my entire life and let her stay in it. I always thought she might be the first one to go. But through my struggles, I figured out that I will be the one to take her place.